Hey right guys, Truth Munchers Joe here, and today we're going to be doing our, last review of 2019. I almost forgot the year, but the last review of 2019, I barely did any this year. I think I did like 4. But no, one of my goals for 2020 is to kind of review more films and TV series instead of just react to them, kind of review ones that I've watched off camera. And yeah, I'm going to start with this one, even though it's not really 2020, but it's basically almost 2020, and I binged all of this yesterday. So Don't Fuck With Cats Hunting an Internet Killer is a Netflix documentary, of course, because they're just, pumping out these documentaries every 4 seconds, it seems. But this was one that came out, I believe, on the 18th of December, and I saw it trending on Twitter the day it came out, and I was just like, okay, cool. I didn't even look at the trend, I just saw it, and I was like, another Netflix show. And then my sister said she binged it all the day before I watched it, and she was like, yo, you need to watch this because it's mad. So I put on episode 1. I just thought, okay, we'll try episode 1. It's only 3 episodes long, so it's very short. I think each episode is an hour long. But after episode 1, I just ended up doing 2 and 3 straight after because I needed to know what happened. Because this is a story that I've heard nothing about. I didn't even know this story existed, and then there's like so much to tell with these 3 episodes. And I really, really enjoyed it. Enjoying maybe being the wrong word, because there is some disturbing shit in this documentary for sure. I'm not going to go into too many spoilers just for like people who might not know the full story of it, but definitely watch it. Basically, just to give you the gist, it's basically about this guy who uploaded a video of him murdering 2 kittens. This is in like the first 10, 15 minutes, I think. Well, basically, yeah, the first 10 minutes. He uploads this video onto Facebook of him murdering 2 kittens. So straight away, you just kind of like, just hate shit like that. And it's about this group, this Facebook group that formed, basically trying to hunt down this killer, basically. And he was like tormenting them and like, just fucking them about and uploading more videos. And the videos, it's definitely going to be, well, obviously it's hard to watch. I don't know anyone who could watch this and not kind of find parts of it hard to watch. I don't know. It doesn't show the full videos, understandably. It doesn't show the full videos of what happens. But you kind of get the gist from what they do show. And the way it's told, it's done in like a documentary way, so they do, make certain parts very dramatic, and that's, I kind of get it. That's kind of how documentaries are. But yeah, I feel like the first 10 minutes is just kind of like, okay, you're on the side of, obviously, you just want the guy to be caught, and kind of, it shows the story of what happens from there. And these guys who are trying to find this guy are mad. They are insane. Like, they were looking at every detail in these videos to try and find this guy, and yeah, it's just a very interesting watch. Definitely recommend it. And I feel like it's very good that it's kind of just separated into 3 parts, because every part, obviously it leads into each other, it's all the same story. Because when I was going into it, I didn't know if each episode was about someone different, but it's all the same story. But it feels like every episode kind of is something different to the last one. Like I said, I'm going to go into spoilers in a little bit, just to kind of, explain a bit more. And I do have like one, not major flaw, but there's one flaw that kind of icked me a bit at the end, which I'll get into in the spoiler part. And I'm not like a huge documentary guy. Like, I do really want to start watching more documentaries for sure, but I just don't really know where to start and like what the good ones are. So if you do know, comment down below with some really good documentaries. Because I've only seen about maybe 5 or 6 in my time, but this might be one of the better ones for sure. I don't know if it is the best, but it's definitely up there. Overall, I'd probably give this show a 9 out of 10 if I was going to rate it. Like I said, some things are very kind of dramatic, and there's some grim shit happening in this show for sure, but it's not so much that stuff that they're making dramatic. It's like some of the other things they try to make dramatic. I hated the mum, the mum of this kitten killer that they interviewed. I was just like, oh my god, just deluded. So she was just a person. I was just like, because throughout the documentary, I was kind of not going to judge her on some of the things she did say until the end, because I wanted to wait until we kind of had the full story, because there was some things she was saying throughout the documentary, the mum of the kitten killer, this is. And I was like, okay, you know what, that's some dumb shit to say, but I'm gonna wait until we get the full picture, and then I'll judge it. And then it ended, and I was like, yeah, she was actually just an idiot. She was just a bit of an idiot. So yeah, I definitely really do recommend it. Like I said, gonna go into some spoilers now, so if you don't know the story or you haven't watched the documentary, then go and watch it. It's like 3 hours. Like I said, there is some grim shit in there for sure, but it's definitely worth the watch, and let me know if you have seen it down in the comments as well and what you thought of it. But yeah, spoilers. Okay, so the stuff that was like with the mom when she was kind of like, oh yeah, these people are stalkers and they don't actually really know the full picture, because obviously you had that guy Manny that the kitten killer completely made up and didn't even exist, which I thought. But like I was gonna wait until the end of the show or the end of the documentary to kind of see until I like really judged her on that stuff. But nope, Manny was just made up and she's just in denial, and I get she's his mum, but she was just kind of saying that the people that hunted him down were psychos and stalkers and all this stuff, and it's just a bit like, okay, whatever. I mean, your son did murder kittens, and then Jun Lin, who was obviously the guy that he killed as well in episode 2, and that was when episode 1 ended, and it was basically like the I think his name was Simon, I'm not exactly sure. The guy they were interviewing, and he was saying how he woke up in the middle of the night and he had the video, and he was saying like, we knew that he was going to move over to starting to kill people, and here it is. And yeah, he ended up murdering Jun Lin, and this was one of the gripes that I had with what I mentioned earlier, was the way it ended. I think it ended perfectly when it had Jun Lin's friend saying, oh, it's going to be sad that the topic is going to be all about the kitten killer when it should be about Jun Lin, who lost his life. And I thought that is the perfect way to end the documentary, and then it did this very sad footage of kind of the funeral of Jun Lin as well. And I thought, yeah, that is a great way to end it, because that's kind of like sticks with you, and it's like Jun Lin, this is about Jun Lin as it should be. And then it didn't end. It went on for another 5 minutes of the main woman they were interviewing. And the bit I hated, and I tweeted this out, but the bit I hated was when she looked at the camera and was just kind of like, you're complicit for the internet killer because you're watching this documentary. And I was just like, what? Why end it like that and be like, no, you know what, I ain't complicit in any of this shit. You did the documentary, Netflix put it out, you can be complicit if you want and feel guilty, whatever. Because throughout the documentary they were saying like, they were questioning if they had actually helped him kind of do these things because they gave him the attention and stuff. So did he move on to Jun Lin because they gave him that attention? And I felt that was interesting, and that was a valid thing to bring up in the documentary. But then at the end, when they were just kind of like, or when she was more so like, you're complicit because you've watched this documentary, I was just a bit like, you should have just ended it with Jun Lin, because I felt like that was the perfect way to end it. Making it about him instead of the kitten killer. But no, they brought it right back to being about the kitten killer. So it just kind of felt like, why? I don't know why they ended it like that. That is the one thing that stopped it being a 10 out of 10 for me. And I think because it was the ending, like if it was a thing in the middle that I had a gripe with, it's kind of like you have the rest of the documentary to kind of gloss over that. But I felt like because it was right at the end, it just left a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know, it didn't sit right with me the way they ended it. But that, I don't know, like I said, I've not spoken to many people about this documentary because I literally watched it last night. So let me know your thoughts on how the documentary kind of ended. But for me, I felt like they should have ended it with Jun Lin. But yeah, it was very, very, very interesting, the fact that he was kind of using films and pop culture to kind of tease the Facebook group of what was going on. And then obviously this Manny character that he invented was just from Basic Instinct, and he was taking things from American Psycho and Catch Me If You Can as well. I thought that all that stuff was really interesting, because even one of the lawyer that Luca contacted at some point even said like it's brilliant but like stupid at the same time. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he was saying it's so brilliant, but he just hates. He's just like, oh my god, this guy. So yeah, I think in total there were like 3 killings of cats, and like I said, they were just so hard to watch. And then obviously he went on to murdering Jun Lin, which was very hard to watch. And they even said like he's murdered 3 kittens, he was gonna do it again, like he was gonna murder another 2 people, they thought. And he definitely would have. And the fact that he got caught because they even say in the documentary, the fact that he got caught because he couldn't keep away from what the news on him was, and he was just sat in an internet cafe just kind of looking at himself. It's kind of tragic, but I don't know, that's just such a funny way to go. Like, I don't know, it's just like, of course he was caught looking at himself, because he obviously throughout the documentary, he just kind of was always checking himself out and he loves himself a bit, and he got caught because he couldn't keep away from the news about him. So yeah, GG's on the guy who eventually caught him. And yeah, he's in prison now. Sorted. He's in prison. So he's going to be in there for life, thank God. Because throughout the documentary as well, like I think it was at the start of episode 3, I was thinking like, what if he genuinely does get away? Because I didn't know how the story ended or anything like that. But no, he did get caught, thankfully. So yeah, that was brilliant. But overall, like I said, the only gripe I had was the way it ended. The last 5 minutes felt like it should have ended with John, like I thought it was going to. But other than that, the way it was told, done in a documentary style where they make certain things very dramatic, but the story was so compelling, and I felt like a lot of the people they interviewed were actually, it's just the fact that they put so many hours and time into this thing, and they told the police, and the police didn't listen to them. You could feel the frustration in their voice when they were talking about it, like, we warned them this would happen, and no one even listened to us. So, yeah, just the fact that they put so many hours into this as well, and really helped with finding this guy as well is mad. So fair play. Yeah, overall, very good documentary. But let me know down below in the comments of other documentaries I can get into, because I want to get into more in 2020, and I want to start doing more of these reviews as well. So yeah, overall 9 out of 10 for me. Let me know what you guys thought. Really enjoyed this one. It's very hard to watch, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, until next time, guys, have a great Christmas. It's actually Christmas Eve as of filming this. I'm just going to keep that in because why not? So Christmas Day tomorrow, I'm getting all prepped. But I thought I'd throw out this review very quickly. So yeah, have a great Christmas, guys, and I'll see you next time. Until then, peace.